All right, I think we'll get this party started. How about that? Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Civil Rights Summit. My name is Big Hartman. I'm the Executive Director and General Counsel at the Human Rights Commission. It is my genuine, heartfelt pleasure to welcome you all to our weekend today. Thank you to everyone who's attending both here and in person and online. We have about 70 folks gathered and counting for this opening event. I'm gonna make some opening remarks and we're gonna kick this off before our first panel starts, probably a little after 2:30 since we're starting a little bit behind schedule. It's really an incredible honor to be speaking to you all today. I want you to know this event was a vision of mine that came to me just this past spring. The idea for this conference really hit me like a bolt of lightning during one of many sleepless nights where my mind could not rest amidst the horror of what is happening at the national and global level. I realized that our office, the Vermont Human Rights Commission, was uniquely positioned to host a statewide event like this. I hoped we would be able to give hope and inspiration to Vermonters struggling with recent events. More importantly, I wanted the HRC to offer a platform for the frontline civil rights defenders in Vermont to share their knowledge, their expertise, their ideas, their visions, and their concrete strategies. I do feel like I'm having a little bit of a Kevin Costner Field of Dreams moment here. All this, since the spring, my mantra has just been, if we do this, they will come. And you did. That's so great. It's really amazing to see you all and to see this dream come to life. I really hope that this event will boost your spirits and strengthen your resolve to keep you working for equity, for justice, and for stronger civil rights in our community. So I'm gonna give you the who, what, when, where, and why about this event, okay? So we're gonna start with the who. Who are we? The Human Rights Commission is an independent state agency created by state law and funded primarily by your state tax dollars. Our mission is to advance full civil and human rights in Vermont. We are the agency with authority to enforce Vermont's Fair Housing and Public Accommodations Act, one of the most expansive anti-discrimination statutes in the country. We are a very small staff of 9 employees, and each of us is extremely dedicated to the agency's mission. But this event is not about the Human Rights Commission, and we're not centering the expertise of our or the dedication of our staff. We're not even talking very much at this summit about the HRC's enforcement work, our trainings, our complaint investigations, or our civil rights litigation. This event is about our community, and your voice is at the center. And who is here? 55 speakers have volunteered their time to participate in this summit. Each of these community leaders brings a wealth of knowledge, expertise, lived experience, and dedication to this space. Many speakers and moderators are here from HRC's community partners and nonprofit organizations who have been working in Vermont for decades. We're incredibly lucky and thankful to have a chance to engage with them and with each other over the course of this weekend. And who else is here? Well, we have over 250 more registered to attend this weekend's summit. And we are so excited. Your steady interest and enthusiasm about this event has been truly wonderful to behold and so affirming for us as organizers. You represent Vermonters from all walks of life and from all corners of the state. You are policymakers, organizational leaders, and advocates. You are legislators, community organizers, educators, students, service providers. Some of you are folks known to our office, people that we've worked with in coalitions and on working groups and community affiliations in the past, and many of you are new to us. We welcome everyone and thank you so much for saying yes to this event. So that covers the who. Let's get to the what. What is the Civil Rights Summit? What are we doing here? This is a chance for those of us who have been working separately on our distinct issues to come together. It's a time to step back from our everyday labors to talk strategy from a wider lens. Here, we can build our connections and strengthen our coalitions. A civil rights summit is a way to coalesce in our movement of resistance against authoritarianism, oligarchy, and oppression. What we are coming together for this weekend is to strategize for solutions to the civil rights crisis that is upon us. We are not here to complain and commiserate about the Trump administration's horrendous policies and actions, although of course a little of that is bound to happen. But what we want to focus on at this summit is solutions. Focusing on the problem that is the Trump administration is what he wants, because it takes our attention away from the sphere where we have our hands on the levers. We are accustomed to building statewide coalitions for change. We've done it many times before. Through listening and learning from one another, we hope to develop plans for equity-based civil rights strategies driven by our community members that will protect all Vermonters now and for the future. And our hope is that each of us will leave this summit with real ideas for action. We need short-term tactics and long-term plans that we can take back to our communities and our organizations. This is how we contribute to our nation's reawakened civil rights movement. Throughout the weekend, we ask you to engage with each other and to share ideas that you have for what we can do. Talk to people you've never met before. Grow your reach and explore new possibilities together. When we collaborate with a shared mission and our collective goals in mind, I truly believe that new solutions emerge that would never have been conceived of otherwise. There's another what I want to tell you about, what the HRC will do after this weekend. Our agency is committed to moving the state forward with the strategies that are presented and that arise out of this convening. This summit is not a one-off. This is just the beginning. First, the HRC will produce a report with recommendations for strengthening civil rights in Vermont based on this weekend's discussions. We will present those recommendations to the public at the State House and in other venues starting in December. Then, throughout 2026, we plan to engage actively with the community on specific topics that are addressed this weekend, as well as many topics that we simply did not have time to cover in these 3 days. We plan to build off of the momentum of this summit purposely and continuously. We will ensure that there is continuing dialogue with policymakers, community members, organizational leaders, and others to grow and sustain a long-term civil rights strategy with impact for years to come. Okay, so we covered the who and the what. Now let's talk about the when. The timing of this summit is no accident. We are here 1 year after the re-election of Donald Trump. We are here because for many of us, this year has been too excruciating, too unbelievable, too wrong to ignore. We're here because of the chaos and pain that has been unleashed this year. 1 year later, our shock has passed, and many of us are struggling with anger, fear, and powerlessness. But this is the time to strategize. We're here at the end of 2025 to forge a new plan for 2026. In 8 weeks, Vermont's citizen legislature convenes once again. We need to be ready with recommendations and proposals and with concrete demands. Let's do what we can to lay the groundwork together this weekend. And I just want to take another step back and consider more broadly the when of this moment in history. Humans have a long history of fighting for equality and civil rights. We are an extension of that history right now. We're in the midst of a reawakened civil rights movement. This movement is the combination of many community-based movements that have arisen in the past decade, including Black Lives Matter, Me Too, and the trans rights movement, in which people have achieved increased protections, policy changes, equity and inclusion, and more visibility for people of color, for trans people, indigenous people, women, and immigrants. MAGA is a push against those advances. Historically, with every expansion of rights, there is a status quo of oppression that pushes back. Whether you're talking about racial justice, women's rights, the rights of queer people, immigrants' rights, or disability justice, each time new rights are achieved and more voices are heard and steps towards social justice are made, there is a counter-reaction, a resistance, a push against the will for a more equal and just society. This reality that social justice movements inherently are met with resistance from the status quo is echoed in Frederick Douglass's famous quote, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress." The people that the power holders have historically stigmatized and marginalized now actually have more voice and more influence than ever before. In reaction to that, MAGA has emerged as the latest counterpoint. We are in the struggle, and it is necessary for progress to continue to be made. Civil rights advocates must continue to push for improvements, representation, seats at the table, and systemic change. That's what we're here for. Whew, okay. Now the where. Here we sit, the smallest blue state in the country. We were one of the first to have civil unions, to legalize gay marriage, and to protect people from discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and more recently, citizenship and immigration status. We can draw from other states' progressive policies, and we can set an example as well. Burlington actually, did elect the OG socialist mayor back in 1981, In 2024, Trump only received 32% of the vote in Vermont, and he had the lowest percentage points compared to all other states except for DC. If we can vote so strongly against Trump, then we should be able to legislate strongly against Trump policies, elect leaders who will challenge and defy policies that go against our values, and more actively affirm the civil rights of those targeted by MAGA. All of this is bringing me to the why. Why are we putting on this summit? Well, to take a line from the gay rights activist Harvey Milk, I want to recruit you. I want to recruit you for the fight to preserve your civil rights from the oligarchs in Trump's circle that are trying to dismantle them. They're trying to tell you that reactionary authoritarianism is a done deal and that you should keep your head down and accept this. But I see a lot of heads up in the room. We are not backing down. So with that, I encourage you to consider your personal why. Why have you come to this summit? What brings you to this social justice space? Why do you care about civil rights? I was going to do it ahead of time, but I'm going to do it after this and put a prompt in the Whova app and so that we can all share in the app what is your why. Okay, just a few more remarks from me. The way this event has come together has really shown us how welcomed it is. We expected roadblocks and difficulties and pushback would arise when we started to organize this event, but instead we found all the logistics lined up pretty smoothly. We got yeses from nearly everyone we invited, and there has been an amazing flow of everything coming together pretty easily. This signifies to us that the community is welcoming this and that we are offering something that aligns with need. Also, we ask for your grace this weekend. I promise you we are not going to do this perfectly. We have had a very limited budget for this event and even more limited staff to organize it. This is our first time putting on an event of this magnitude, and it will certainly not be our last. Whatever we don't get right this time, we strive to do better next time. We'll be sending out a survey, and we really welcome your input and feedback for how we can improve this for the future. Finally, I just need to take a couple minutes to recognize the time, energy, and support of the many people who have helped make this happen. Kate Pralberg-Quam, we could not have done this without you and your Virgo lists and your full-on commitment. She started in July, and I was like, okay, project one. It's scheduled for November. And it's really been amazing to work with you. I also want to recognize the hard work of and the dedication of our executive staff assistant, Vanessa Bonobo. I think she's probably working. She's really been holding down so many of the details really thoughtfully and carefully, and I really want to thank her. Also, the entire staff at the Human Rights Commission are just so rock solid. It's really always wonderful to get us all together and see the team, each of us bringing what we have to the work. There are a couple of our commissioners here today, the Human Rights Commissioners, and I have to say that they have always had my back as long as I've been director, and I really need it, and it means a lot. Also want to thank the volunteers who don't really know us at all and just wanted to help out. It's really awesome, and we're so grateful for you. I also want to thank CVOEO, especially Jess Hyman, for all her work and organization bringing together everyone for our event this evening. Thank you so much, Jess. And all of the panel organizers who really did the work of curating each of the topics that are being discussed and who would be presenting on them. It really was a community effort, and we're just so grateful. So that's all from me, and I'm going to turn things over to Kate for a couple of logistic announcements. Thank you all again.
Hi, everybody. I want to echo Big's thanks to all of you for being here, whether in person or remotely. We are so honored and gratified by the interest in this summit and excited to see what visions and ideas emerge by the end of the weekend. I also want to extend thanks to a couple of more people, to our speakers and the partners who have generously provided goods and services for this event. These include Fox Market in East Montpelier, who is providing this evening's food and mocktails. The Alchemist, who generously offered to provide a bar for this evening's reception. Vermont Wine Merchants, who are donating wine for tonight's reception. Tomorrow night's dinner, we'd like to thank People's Kitchen in advance for being with us. Kula Vermont of South Burlington is offering a yoga class tomorrow and Sunday before the panels begin. The Vermont Professionals of Color Network is hosting a BIPOC affinity space tomorrow all day across the sidewalk in Conant, room 101. And other sponsors and donors, including Jasper Hill Farms and Bar Hill Gin, thanks to Hillary and the staff at Vermont State University who have been patient and gracious hosts, really accepting a really large amount of text messages. And I also want to say Jess Hyman at CVOEO took on tonight's reception as a passion project and really puts me to shame with the zeal with which she has addressed this project. And finally, Orca Media is helping us this weekend to manage remote access to the event and film this room in a way that brings our more than 125 remote summit attendees into the space with us. We also have a couple of people here and there throughout the weekend who are volunteering services as de-escalators. These are trained civilian volunteers who are on hand just so that we have somebody who can help us regulate. I think in this political and economic moment, we are often dysregulated, especially around topics like civil rights. So, okay, finally, I want to talk to you about this app. Eric, would you extend the slide for me? Yeah, thank you. In this app, which it has been a blessing and a curse for us, mostly a blessing, but it's always to learn new technology is, a little bit of a headache. If you are in that app and you click on Home, and then you hit the floor map button, you will see a map of the campus. Okay, most of the places we will be are highlighted in that app. Most panels will take place here in this room. There are 3 all-gender restrooms in this building, 2 right out here and 1 up the stairs. Just outside these doors and to the right is Conant, where there will be panels tomorrow. There are also all-gender restrooms in there. The BIPOC affinity space is in Conant 101. The yoga, if anybody's up that early, will be in Conant 103. And behind this building, about a 7-minute walk that way, is the campus center. That is where tonight's dinner and reception and tomorrow night's dinner will be offered. We will have generous volunteers on hand with a couple of umbrellas to help you find your way there if that is needed. Okay, a couple more logistical and technological announcements, and then I'll pass it over to our first panel. You will have seen at the check-in table that there are masks available. Please feel free to avail yourselves. We also have COVID and flu tests on demand, so please don't be shy about asking for those. Campus has an open Wi-Fi network. We're all using it, so let's use it, but try not to stream and download because we want remote attendees to be able to access without limited bandwidth. Your Whova app is a one-stop shop for the agenda, information about speakers and attendees, campus map, hotel information, access details, and several fun ways to interact during the course of this weekend. You can post an icebreaker, you can introduce yourself, post photos, check announcements from us. You'll also see a box in the app called Leaderboard. This is a feature that keeps track of who has the most participation points with the various interactive features. Keep an eye out for announcements about some generously donated prizes for that. And you will also see that if anybody doesn't want Mark Hughes to win that leaderboard contest, I see you. We should, Mark is using it right now. We should all get on there and try to beat him. Most importantly, for people joining us remotely, the app will allow you to participate in panel Q&A. There's not a way to submit questions remotely other than through the app. So if you don't have it, please check your email for the link. And if you need it, go ahead and email me and I can help you out. Would you advance one more time, Eric? Okay, so you can see here are the boxes that I was referring to. Eric, you can move to the next one. The way to find the session Q&A is to go into the individual panel, and then you can click on the panel. You can go ahead to the next one, Eric. And this is how that Q&A will come up. So if people are shy and don't want to use a microphone during Q&A, you're welcome to type something in there, and we have a staff member who will read your question out, okay? You can go to the next one, Eric. If you go into the agenda and click on a panel, Eric, you can move to the next one. You'll also see that there's a chat. So in addition to the Q&A, there's also a chat feature. The chat feature is open to whatever you want during a panel. We're not monitoring it. So if you ask a question in there, we probably won't answer it. That's what I wanted to show you. Eric, you can go to the next one. Yeah, so that's what the chat will look like. I mean, it'll be populated if you use it, but just wanted folks to be familiar with that. Okay, we've got 2 great panels coming up. I don't want to take any more time. After these 2 introductory panels, we invite you to join us in Campus Center for a delicious dinner, networking event, and we look forward to chatting more. Thank you all so much for coming, and please enjoy the weekend.